Hey, what's going on, y'all? How my people doing out there? It's your boy Moose. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Cool World, where we're only doing things that are cool. All right, and not to keep it PC, but we want to keep it 100, keep it 100 on this channel. So yeah, I wanted to do this live stream. I wanted to get this out there because there's a lot on my mind I want to talk about, but I just want to talk about in this particular live stream about kind of how the world is flipping out and everything has kind of just been flipped on its axis, technically. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where we are in society. If you pay attention to things that's going on, lots of people are crashing out on a day-to-day basis. Over smaller and smaller trivial things, seemingly, but people just keep crashing out for whatever reason. A lot of people want to point to the pandemic as these are kind of like residual issues from that time. Uh, there's a lot of mistrust in the government. Basically, you had Trump denouncing the Epstein files, basically making it seem like there was nothing to see here, and that definitely riled up his base. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and things are just being flipped up on its axis. Like I said, um, things are just completely reversed from how they used to be, and it seems like we're just going further and further down this line, down this road. They just canceled the Stephen Colbert, the Late Show with him, so things is moving, man. Things is moving fast. So yeah, that's what I wanted to cover in this video. Just basically like how people are crashing out and businesses are keep going under. Like there's so many things happening. It's so hard to keep track of all the negative news stories being drizzled and dripped through the media and through social media, whatever the case may be. But yeah, this story I thought it was interesting about Stephen Colbert losing his show due to Donald Trump. Dude couldn't keep the dude's name out of his mouth. And hey, these are the consequences that come with that. So you gotta be more mindful, man. You got to be more mindful. But anyways, let's just jump right into it, okay? And let's see what they talk about in this.
By applying everything we've learned making PMags to alloy magazines, we've created thin-walled metal magazines that provide the same quality, value, and reliability you expect. Now for your SIG pistol. Available now at magpul.com and at your local retailer.
People are dumping their outdated mosquito zappers for this $40 invention. It was developed to kill all mosquitoes in a 100 square feet room.
I've known Stephen Colbert a long time. I've been on his show, interviewed him many times. He's taken shots at me. I've taken shots at him. All in good fun, I hope. So I was impressed when he took on his parent company, Paramount, for paying $16 million to settle that Trump lawsuit over deceptive editing by 60 Minutes.
Now, I believe that this kind of complicated financial settlement with a sitting government official has a technical name in legal circles. It's big fat bribe.
But then came the stunning news that Skydance, the expected buyer of Paramount and CBS, was making a move purely for financial reasons, you understand.
I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away.
Joining us now from Stamford, Connecticut, Brian Steinberg, senior TV editor at Variety.
Geez, you could tell how bittersweet that is for Stephen Colbert. You know, he's once he got that news from the executives upstairs, he's like, really? We're gonna cower to this man, to this man's demands? Okay. Okay. But I'll tell you what. I'm going to have to pack up my bags because I really don't have anything else to really stand on because you guys are paying my bills and paying me millions of dollars. And if you want me going, I have to get going. That's pretty much how it goes. So, yeah, you got to fall in line, Stephen Colbert. I'm sorry, but you do. You got to fall in line, big dog.
That blowing up the CBS Late Show had nothing to do with content. I mean, Stephen Colbert is the biggest name at CBS. He's been number one for 9 straight years in the late night ratings, and I don't think Skydance really cares.
Well, it's I've been very strange on this one because it came to close to him calling it a big fat bribe. A lot of speculation about if that got him in a lot of trouble. At the same time, late night is not what it once was. This is a format that thrives on young people watching TV at 11:30 at night. They don't do that anymore.
You know, I go back to the history. We had the era of Jay Leno versus David Letterman and Jimmy Kimmel. If we can put that picture up. And then I'm sure the picture will be coming up any second. And then more recently, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, and Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sure somebody's got the picture. Anyway, who's next? Jon Stewart. He said he doesn't know. Does Skydance think we're dumb enough to believe there's nothing to see here?
Well, I still think Jon Stewart is down to one night a week on Comedy Central. These shows are under tremendous financial pressure, and so there are business reasons and optics, and I think people are connecting the dots a little bit. Yes.
Well, as you point out, they don't even work Fridays anymore, and a lot of younger people they see the clips online the next day. Sure, 2.5 million on average is just nothing like the Johnny Carson days. So I kind of get from your coverage that you think this is, and that it may not stop with Stephen Colbert and the Late Show, and that this might be the beginning of the end for late night.
Well, the drumbeat's been going for a long time now. NBC used to have a 1:30 show with Lee Singh, and before that, Carson Daly. That show's no longer on the air. CBS just got a 12:30 business a few weeks ago with Taylor Tomlinson. These shows are down to four nights a week. Seth Meyers no longer has a live band on his show. James Corden is gone. It's clear that these shows are not pulling the dollars they once were, or the young people they once really needed to have to make them work.
Well, let's not forget, for people who have not been breathlessly following this, that this is about Shari Redstone, who needs Trump administration approval to have this sale to Skydance go through and make a lot of money. In my view, really tarnishing the network of Burrow and Cronkite.
And that's an interesting thing that, I think a lot of people are neglecting on this, is that there's a whole merger that's happening between CBS and Paramount that is being it's been kind of going over the time frame that they allow for the merger time. It's essentially to become merged with the other companies. They've went past the allotted time normally that these companies need for review and for the Department of Justice to do a review, I believe. And this is taking a lot longer, and it's not being approved. And so Paramount, there's a bribery going on, very complicated, with Trump. I feel like with them paying that lawsuit out, they feel like they're somewhat trying to, grease the hands of the administration so that way they can get that merger to go through. That's just my speculation, but I think that's kind of what's going on here.
I would argue that, yes, these recent moves of CBS News and 60 Minutes and other things, they are not, this is an owner, a controlling shareholder who has to have a deal go through. She is on the verge of financial ruin, I believe, if it doesn't happen. She's in a really hot spot. This company, Paramount, is not doing as great as it once was 20, 30 years ago. And they need a deal. It's a transformative deal, and it would keep her family fortune as well as a company in business. So she's rocking a hard place. And it's not easy to make these kind of operating decisions when you're in that kind of situation.
Yeah, I guess because you cover this for a living, you're sympathetic to the cross pressures on these shows and the fact that, a lot of this now happens online. But I remember thinking when the rise of Colbert and the ratings came when he got more political, less polite way of saying that is when he turned virulently anti-Trump. I mean, he never gave Joe Biden or others a hard time. Obviously, he leans far to the left. And thinking, isn't he taking a real risk here, Colbert, by alienating potentially half his audience?
It's the challenge I think late night's gone through in the last 5 to 10 years. There are so many late nights that war after Letterman left. So many new ones popped up. Samantha Bee, Robin Thede, a lot of different shows. Everyone going after a certain niche of the audience, not the entire audience. Johnny Carson, never really wore his heart on his sleeve. And in an era where everything is fragmentized and fractionalized, everyone's going after a certain niche, not the broader whole.
Well, maybe because I grew up watching shows like Carson and Leno and so forth, and Conan O'Brien, that was a brilliant move, not at the Today Show. I'm more sympathetic to these shows. But there's one person who's happy about this, and that's Donald Trump. Writes, I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was less than his ratings, but he had a loyal audience. You however, feel like, the time for these programs may have, I emphasize, may have come and gone.
I think one or two may survive. Now, Kimmel's contract up in 26. Fallon and Myers have to 28. More of these guys are doing, if you watch them, more ads on their shows, more live ads, more other game shows they host. And I think those who can figure out a way to kind of broaden their base beyond late night may stick around for a while longer, but I do think there is some severe pressure on this stuff.
Well, that is an understatement, and I don't think we've heard the end of this, but we're very happy to have you on.
Wow. And that's where I'm going to end it, y'all, because I think that's very interesting, man. Trump, he's not playing games. It's like as soon as that defamation lawsuit came out last year and they lost, bro, shit is changing, man. It's changing. He sued them. They lost. They just cowered into it. And then now it's like, yeah, every other late night host out there talking that smack, talking ish about the administration, we watching y'all. And y'all better watch your back because that funding that's coming through, that the licensing or whatever it is you need to keep your job and to keep that money coming in for the late night crews, so that way they can still produce these shows, is drying up. It's drying up based on this political landscape, based on the authoritarianism that this administration is pretty much implementing. Okay, let's not beat around the bush. Okay, they're acting very authoritarian, and it's not authoritarian, but the actions they're taking and the ways they're going about making these actions occur is very authoritarian. So, look, I'm not one way or another, man. I'm very bipartisan to this administration, but yeah, there's certain things that they're doing that I thought was right. Certain things they're doing I don't think is right, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, I'm just here to report and here to do what's cracking some jokes and do it with a smile on my face. All right, but until the next time, you already know it's your boy here, Cool World, and yeah, we gotta get to it, man. Somebody does. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.